Okay, so if we look at these two setups, we can see the left-hand one here was kind of your before. As we were saying, buddy, the ball position there for me, a little bit forward. Weight just looks a little bit kind of up on that left side. Shoulders, although it's difficult to see, kind of looks like your chest is kind of pointing in this direction, which would therefore mean your shoulders are kind of aiming to the left. And that's going to really create a path going back on the way back in the takeaway, a bit on the outside, and causing you to sort of come across the golf ball and make it very difficult if you know to transfer your weight. If you were to transfer your weight now, you'd be coming so steep down into the golf ball, it just wouldn't make sense to you at all, and your body would kind of sort of back up as a result. And as a result, that causes those sort of thin shots, fat shots, and those slices. So we're looking for that, getting into that kind of lowercase y as we talked about. Get that left arm on the club a little bit more in line. It also helps strengthen your grip without really changing the grip. You're just putting the golf club into a different position. And your hand now, because it just comes on the club in a slightly different sort of angle. Now I say, although it might feel a little bit different, it's not as if you're changing the grip massively, but just by having the shaft leaning forward a little bit towards this kind of left thigh, it just means that left hand now is going to get a little bit more over to this kind of right side, get those V's that we talked about sort of pointing up towards your right shoulder. So with that better setup, the feeling now in terms of the golf swing is getting your body weight now to start kind of covering the golf ball. So if we watch here on the right hand one, kind of the practice drills that we were talking about, get your turn to the top of the backswing, and now from here feel like you're pressuring into that left foot, getting into that good impact position. Now you can see here there's not really much movement here, and as we get to about halfway down, even though you may have felt like you moved straight away, as you get to about here, then the shift comes in. So we get to kind of this impact position. Now, admittedly, this is probably a little bit far forward, but as I'm sure you can imagine, if you put speed to that, the club head's going to be here before you even know it. And then when you put speed even more so now into the impact area, the club head speed that we generate this way is going to throw most of our body in this direction. Okay, so we want to try and feel that kind of movement pressuring onto that left foot literally straight away in the downswing there. If anything, a little bit more as the club is starting to sort of go back. As we start completing the turn, we could start shifting now towards that left side. Kind of think if you were sort of throwing a frisbee or a ball even, or whatever it may be, trying to create some energy in this way, as you start putting your arm up in this position here now, you'd probably start stepping to target to try and create that kind of shift and that power move. But getting into this lower left-sided position is going to be the key. So as you see, start with a nice sort of routine, feet together, getting in that lowercase y. And then from there now is the feeling of moving to the left. Now, as we can see, we start moving a little bit here now. As we get to about the arms being down here, you will see now it's very difficult for your body to keep rotating and moving. And you can see sort of the head then backing up a little bit now, just a little bit through the hitting area, which is why it's so important now, as we said, to get that body weight over to that left side basically as soon as we can, because you're going to be thrown backwards and extend up through the shot. So say, gives you a bit more width as well when you get that body around that left side. You've got space for your arms to go. But main key, set up slight little adjustment into that sort of lowercase y, as we said, not sort of the capital Y or the other side of the centre. And then the feeling in terms of the swing, just getting onto that left side, get your body kind of moving into that left foot over here, covering the ball, getting that angle of attack better, get that path into the golf ball on a much more efficient angle. So hope that all makes sense. Any questions, obviously give me a shout, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, buddy.